We're on a space mission from Jesus. Yes, no. The following may be the only creative, destructively expansive possibility for creative destructors. Welcome to Officer's Human 1.5, the original version. We asked the question where, when, what, how, and who should we pay for an economy that works? And I have like an 80% momentum. Not honed in every sentence book that has been pilfered. I had 3 copies in paper. I had some copies digital and such, and they've been disorganized with other things in this Oregon era. But I'm pleased to say I do believe that stop to continue at some point is what the potty is all about. I say potty because parties are dirty. And nobody potties in public anymore. Not even in a transparent world. Not even with questions. Not even with, if you research Open Source Human, these last postings of the past 8-9 days or so, anything about detail of an event, bookkeeping, jokes, yuck, 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 yiller or. Yuck, 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 yiller war. Sound shots heard round the world to anchor an event. It should have been today. It should have been yesterday. It should have been a million years ago. But that's our fault, isn't it, Christians? Now, I believe in a Sinian world, it's okay to say I'm a small to medium-sized Christ and say, well, I'm God while there isn't one. I've made the mistake of saying I'm God if there isn't one. I pulled that back. This separate book, it's not to go online. It's not to phase up for 4 years or more. I like to think 18 years. But we're close about 17 and a half from that window. And it's been 4 years since the epiphany of the book. So to respect John, have more mustard seeds and say, I'm going to call into the show at some point and say, I'm God while there isn't one. And I'm going to question this guy about his socioeconomic separate book and get this potty cleaner on the face. So that's the idea. We don't really have the option, Mycenians. I have a messenger account on Apple Messenger, something or other. Theoretically, the ID is Doctrinaire, a flawed good soul. I am Doctrinaire. I adopted that name here in the county last year. And I think it was a wise decision to continue familiars. Now, as you can tell, I'm not fully put together yet, and that's intended. I am a little left, so I had to get right. And I intend to stay that way as long as it takes to phase up. So again, a flawed good soul, capital F, capital GS, on Messenger, and I'm activating that now. Let me try to do that here. Look at that, I'm mobile and blue. Yeah, I'm a driver, I can 4-weight. That's a funny joke. I really never, but look, I didn't even get connected pretty quickly. I can just buzz right back into the picture. I was saying, it's just in transportation, it's all kind of movement. You really can't be too careful in what your load might do, and they say you're responsible for not getting around and out of the apple alive. But it's brought to this very show. I'm on supposedly Apple Messenger, and if I like your question, I'll ask your to be a little inspiritually questionomic, say, I'm God, well, there's one. And I like your question. You say about the separate book, whatever, whatever, whatever. What does it mean? I'm sure the Lord said, I wouldn't unite your flawed economies. What does that mean? Previous show. Ask me a question about the book. I'll answer yes or no. And if I hate your question, I'll give you another question. Or you can reach me on Apple Messages at Doctrinaire, a flawed good soul. That's the ticket time because see the phone that I aforementioned was not made by the manufacturer, didn't have a serial number registered at the manufacturer, is now missing the batteries out of it here at my mental institution, IVNX, at least one room out of. Was replaced. Those batteries were replaced by non-rechargeable batteries, and they were corroded when I found them. Well, sick people, share I. Okay, so yeah, so yuccular ore. Oh, let's forget that. Forget that. To secure a pot books, and etc. I'll catch you to regulations later. I'll wipe you off now. Just give me get an entry into the book on your classification of what you care about. I'll find the account later, and there's no need to actually do any optionality in any official sense. Just have fun with me. I'll be on this show. Hopefully, this live stream, this YouTubeule keeps functioning. If not, I'll find another way. I'll find another way. It'll be a little bit more dangerous, not as risk managed, not as yuck, yuck, yuck. But here you go. Here you go. If you want to anchor a potty, if you want to get transparent, if you want to pretend like kids aren't really liberal-minded sponges, you're gonna have to let me clean it all up and enjoy it. But to get it started, if you want to anchor some kind of an event in Presidents or executions, well, just be a little drier in your thumping if you need. Spread some peas in my direction. Just rip your threads off and have at it. It's a very private affair. Ring circuses. Me in the Green Zone finishing a separate book. As I've mentioned, been for more than 4 years since the Epiphany. Going to be more way. It would not work by the math if I let it happen sooner than 4 years, because you are all very little Christ. That's just a variable, you Mycenians. So play with them. Play with the words. Sure, and the Lord said I wouldn't unite your feeble economy. Lightning bolts would shoot out my bookies. That's just fine. That's a potty. Anybody want to lick it? Now we're getting liberal. Clear my throat. Okay. So the idea of the Yucca War of the Day is just to spread some pee in this general direction of the Green Zone inside rings of authority and executive affairs. 401 point Georgia Schwinter. And think to just tear off your threads and have at it, because that would be really anchorable to the event. And I don't want to see a damn thing, I just don't give a darn. Rosebud. Uh, well, I really hope you all have fun though, because if you are out there as a thump card in doubt, um, letting it all hang out, and nobody's putting a strand of your finest yuck 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 in a hermetically sealed, viewable from Earth canister of some variety on the moon. You're too viewable, aren't you? I don't know. Just hide some thump thump up there or something. Maybe one day the kids will be inspired to go pee near it. All right. Well. I am phoneless tonight, as I said. Here at my mental institution, they tried to trick within a trick of tricks, and it almost blew up on them. Um, nope, I'm not the bomb squad. But if you wanted to ring an event with explosives, however many rings it takes to invite bonds to the ore chested anchor things, that's not funny. It's not transparent verbal diarrhea. Is my face brown? I think it was it's right around Christmas there. Oh wow, 2018 Eve Heil. We got through that. It's now Heil, El Heil, 2019. But around Christmas last year, we leaked some Yakuza ore, and as you can tell, I'm not a cleavery guy. Can probably butcher. I don't intend to. I want to put anybody at work. Just a variable. We leaked the Yakuza ore. Yakuza ore being what I would have ended the show. Open source human 1.5 today. Open source human 2.0 if I'm still in the Oregon era here, a couple months, maybe something more official. And that was the Yakuza ore. Who would run? Who would lead? Who would sovereign anywhere with enough without enough positive, peaceful, quick, painless death for everything on the planet and to summon the white knights of our past and future out there somewhere. If you get a bit northwest Vulcan, if you enjoy the trek, wars, whatever, you have to understand, in business, in order to summon a white knight, you really have to be able to destroy your outfit. I'm no in a hurry. Probably should be. Um, but I smoke. Not heavily. Sometimes you just gotta punish the demons. Sometimes torture just can't be allowed. Kids are just liberal enough to not care when it happens for those causes. But to secure an event, I have a bookkeeping skill. Bookkeeping. This is an empty little book with pages, empty, that I can copy later and make sure are secure according to regulations if people want. I really just don't think too many people do nowadays. So I guess again, Apple ID, Dr. Neri, full out good soul. We can go for the jackpot minutia again tonight. 37 minutes for the show. Open source human 1.5. If you want to reach me, ask a yes or no question on messages. It should be yeah, that's where the interruption came on the live stream. I was turning on my new smart enough device. And I appreciate it. It has a hotspot, and I got a little computer, and I do messages on Apple ID. If I like your question, I'll expect some reference to classification on your own party. If I hate your question, I will give you another question. Yes or no? So it's Dr. Nair, A Flawed Good Soul on Apple ID messages, something of that nature. A Flawed Good Soul, capital AF, capital GS, as if they were separate words, but all together. Just a flawed good soul trying to get it together to get at you. One column at a time. I don't know. It just seems like it's the right thing to do. It just seems that inability to cut the easy tape, the desert or the deserters, aggressive biting, and unionizations of cross-continental concerns in the darknet era long gone by just isn't simple enough. Well, we have sinning in nature, don't we? Sinning in nature, just little sinners. Could use a big God. I don't know. That's I really figure it's not really my duty, to worry about how kids are going to grow up. No, not even a variable for anyone. Hey, well, this is a show. Open Source Human 1.5. The original Open Source Human, we asked the question where, when, what, how, and who should we pay for an economy that works? I have that question largely answered. I've had the graces of my country and my state and my county and my cities and the international concerns of relative peace to blame. And now I just want to get paid. Yes, no? Or just potty, I mean, as long as we move, we're alive, right? Too much ease, something's wrong. Another landing strips. Anyhow, let's see, 21 minutes into the show. I'm just gonna keep riffing on things, a little key spill here, a little key spill there. Nothing to quarantine about. Not contamination. Nobody watches the tube anymore. Tube them come. I really think the question is right. Where, when, what, how, and who should we pay for an economy that works? For a little while, as quickly as possible. Yeah, I mean, it's not a scary thing. I'm immortal. I intend to be. I just want to know I did all I could to reassure turbio spirits of this internet echo from Vega that if you live forever, have a plan. All right. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I have this book. I don't have enough room here, but look at this. I can open it right up, put it on my joysticks. Did it get smaller? That wouldn't be surprising. Okay, here we go. Yeah, right here is this pin. And I might take it apart.
Dr. Mayor, do you know what the batteries are to the telephone downstairs? Or do you have AAA batteries?
Mary married them.
Mary married them.
Yeah. So I got a
What's
pen.
that
I can
mean? Are
bookkeep.
you in a psycho crazed mania and having a hard time over the holidays? I don't
Am I really annexing mental institutions now? Ah, Sharon Arama.
know.
Shannon. 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 The phone is downstairs.
Huh?
The phone is downstairs.
Yeah, it's missing its batteries. I'm asking you if you have them.
And the answer is no.
Okay. You don't have batteries for telephone.
All right. So again, yeah, if you get a hold of me on Apple Messages, it's Dr. Nair, a flawed good soul, capital A, capital F, capital G, capital S, as if it was two words, maybe just a flawed good soul. It seems to be bolded out there as if that's my Apple ID. So a flawed good soul did this. And you too could go in my book as a potty. Doctors in there. I want to reiterate Open Source Human 1.5 is this current edition. It's not as lit as it could be. Of course, this is my mental institution, and I do things in the spotlight. Yeah, I think it could get a little beepy. My jarry things. And I have plans for that. We have ring 1, ring 2, ring 3, ring 4, ring 5, ring 6, and of course the whole of whatever I'm working in. and whatever other rings you want to bring. Oh, sounds popular now. I think it doesn't matter if you're a canon or a polemic or a fatwa or some kind of traveling warrior spirit, a drug or a disease. You're gonna have to work with the variables someday, and you're not gonna want to do that in a mental institution. You really don't think God has ways and means? As a second therefrom, I prefer to demonstrate ways and ways and ways. That can just hold for a week or a point night. Maybe you can let your children be a little meaner. Bad ones. Not in Nebraska. Yeah. I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm a four-wheeler. I still drive. What about AC/DC currents? Getting shoot. Very, very private shoes. Yeah, you just rip off the threads or dry. Thump, thump, thump the world. These are the kind of options I just wanted to riff on with some kind of executionary or presidential authority anywhere in the world. I always tried to do it right. I was going to abandon withdraw earlier. I'm kind of glad to do that because it's fun. I thought, I don't know if I can handle watching all the familiar people I know not having as much. I would have had fun wherever I went. I'm glad that didn't happen. Maybe these voltages will still reach all those places I had thought more potty should happen and be carried wisely away. But of course, we're going to be a little bit more honestly transparent, my Connors. Yeah. Back in Black Before, the show begins behind circle and circle and circle and circle and circle and circle and circle of green wailing walls. That wouldn't work. Yeah, yeah. I'm an anti-sentencer. Prisoners can just. They don't do it well, though, do they? They don't do it well. I bring them yucular ore. All right. So again, the show is Open Source Human 1.5. The original version of Open Source Human. We asked the question, where, when, what, how, and who should we pay for an economy that works? I really just kind of wanted to have fun, hoping that familiar people around familiar surroundings cared and paid attention to more than just the bad news. Not that there's anything wrong with bad news. Not that we can't push editioners out beyond Wailing Walls. And enjoy the smell from there. Yeah, I just didn't expect. I didn't expect to be able to answer that question for them, for all the familiar surroundings and familiar friends and family. And I'm really lucky that something kept me moving. Uh, really happy that I decided, as a mortal, I would not continue. That I had to be done running from platitudes of harassment and voltages of flame and torment, greed and destruction. And I won't be finishing until I smoke less. And other drugs that affect body and mind. Oh, they did teach me well. I blame everybody. You'll find in your highs and low schools and no schools. The question will still be there. Where, when, why, where, when, what? Where, when, what? How and who are we going to pay for an economy that works? You'll find that being concise, that we're not hiding everything in lies or symbols, but just concise, other kind of label for honest, threatening that everybody knows to speculate with and respect. You'll find if you're concise with the honest threats, you'll graduate high school. Maybe go to college and quit before you get ahead. But again, it is my job to take away anyone's business. It was never my intent to interfere or do anti-sentencing to any grimy concern. I just needed to know that all youth in recession would not fear or be tortured by growing up. Whatever the gender or color. So again, my Sinians, my little sinners, there are better words, there are better ideas. I want to finish up. I want to keep spilling these keys all over the world. Hopefully, you're getting the YouTubular effort in your YouTubular ways for YouTubular concerns. I don't much advertise because it's not a party per se. When we get there, I will change the name. I have a couple ideas of phase up for this current potty. Empty book status. Other concerns of stupoop hilarity and fluid. But who needs that? That's stupefying. Stupidiums unite. Stupidiums unite. Get a call in tomorrow. We're already over our minutia-wise, past the jackpot minutia. It's 38 minutes into Open Sourcing 1.5. I'm going to go off air now and hope you call in tomorrow and ask and be brave. Be brave. I ask those who could anchor an event, take some risk off me, do some bonding, whatever. Yes or no questions. Be unafraid to say, I'm God while there isn't one. So my God of men, of human beings, Jesus Christ. Jesus. Even he was blamed, even his words were contorted to say he said he was God. You can believe it or not. It's all got us to this point, hasn't it? Not his fault. He didn't want to die. Just wanted to keep moving. But he saw us. So ask those people if they're as brave. And hopefully they'll be on the show tomorrow. Happy New Year.